Welcome everybody, it's Mike Newton down here at Lytham Golf Academy. We've got a little driver head-to-head with the new King Cobra F9 SpeedBack driver, and it's going to go up against the previous model, which was the F8. Really going to see the differences, whether that new SpeedBack will talk a lot more aerodynamics of the new model, is providing a little bit more clubhead speed, maybe some different performance through launch and spin, and maybe sort of distance as well, and seeing maybe really how those two drivers stack up against each other. So just before we jump into the video, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, then please consider doing so if you enjoy the content I'm putting out there. Loads more coming this year through 2019 and going forward. So hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon to get notifications of any future videos. Also hook up on social media platforms, both Twitter and Instagram, and handles there are at MN Golf Coach. Okay, so I'm going to start off with last year's model, the 2018, which is the F8, and I've got the one which has the weight in the back and the heel section. So to make this test as even as I possibly can, I've got exactly the same shaft with a hazardous smoke in an X-Flex, which is a bit more down to my sort of spec. Got this in at 9 degrees in both heads, and I'm going to have the heavier weight in the back section, purely because in the F8 I can't get it forward, and I haven't got the F8 Plus model to hand, unfortunately. So both weights are going to go in the back. Having said that, the 12 gram weight in the F8 has now changed to a 14 gram in the F9. So that's really the only sort of difference in terms of the actual weighting. Obviously, there's a lot of technology change in terms of aerodynamics from the new model to the older model. That's really what we're going to sort of test and see if that new one is any better than the old one. So starting off with the F8, very nice in that Nardo grey, I think they called it. Sits lovely behind the golf ball. Let's get his first one hit. Yeah, and a nice solid hit to start with, maybe just a tiny bit low in the face possibly. Yeah, maybe just dropping off a little bit of distance there through possibly that little bit of spin, so 286 total, so not the longest there, but again, the strike wasn't quite there, but we'll hit some more to delve into that a little bit more deeply. Again, not a bad hit there. Doesn't seem to be flying through the air as good. That again, 281, that's not that quick. 115 clubhead speed, so my speed is sort of in that area that I tend to be. Felt a bit better strikes, lost my balance a bit on that one. Yeah, again, I don't know, that flight just doesn't seem to be penetrating. And I know I've got that weight in that back section, which isn't ideally suited to me. But again, that spins up in that 3,000 mark. So definitely a bit more of a higher spinning model there. And I know that weight in that back section is going to create that higher spin. Ideally, that needs to be forward for me personally. But so I'm trying to keep this test as equal as I can, because I've got the weight in the back section in the new F9 head. That was a better strike. Touch up that right hand side, but that was a better connection there. Yeah, again, it's not 285 total, so it's not amazing there. It's that spin number that's really killing it. So that's 3,200. I struck that one pretty well there. So definitely spinning up high, particularly on this F8, which is killing me of distance there. So let's jump into the F9. I'm just going to try and keep everything the same swing. I'm not going to try and hit it harder, just keep everything exactly the same. Got the same shaft, same loft, pretty much same weight setting there, and we'll see if that does anything different. Maybe to that clubhead speed, possibly what we were maybe looking at because of the aerodynamics. Okay, so the new F9 SpeedBack in my hands, again, 9 degree setting. We've got that weight at the back, which is now 14 gram weight, so it's 2 grams heavier than the F8, but very similar sort of setting. It's obviously same shaft in the smoke in an X. So I think, again, sitting that down by the golf ball in terms of looks, again, it's a nice looking club. It is different because it's now all into that black section, just a little bit of speed bumps on there with that yellow logo of the Cobra there. I have done a full in-depth review of this, which I'll put a little link up and you can go and check that out. So let's get this first one hit with the SpeedBack. Okay, felt solid. A little bit more solid again, a little bit into that heel section there. But straight away, very different distance. That's 303. Very different to what I've just sort of seen. Spin at 2,300. Very similar clubhead speed around that 115 mark. So instantly seeing maybe not a gain of club head speed, especially for that first hit, but a different spin characteristics, even though that weighting is in that different section. Really interesting there. Okay, just want to maybe just show you these just with regards to that first hit with the SpeedBack. So I'm just going to show you this third hit I hit with the F8, which was 163 ball speed, so a little bit quicker, but it spun at 3,000. Just want to maybe show you the strike. So there's the strike there. So I'd say a little bit low heel, so not the greatest strike, which is one of the reasons why that spin will pop up. But then looking at that SpeedBack shot, the first one there, you can see 162 ball, so not as quick, but it spun at 2.3. Bear in mind this weight is still in that back section, and obviously went 3.02, but look at the strike there. That was even worse. That was more heel than the F8, so probably going to show how much more forgiving possible that is with that low back CG placement, and really getting a really good control of that spin, even though through a miss hit and a heel. And I would say hitting a heel is always going to spin that ball up much more than probably would do on a central strike. Yeah, I mean, that feels really solid. It's a great looking drive, it's a great feeling drive. It just feels a little bit more solid, I would say, than the F8. I think the acoustics is a little bit more muted, which again gives them that feedback of being a little bit more of a sort of solid feel as the ball comes off the club face, because we know sound is very much related to a feel. That feels great. Hit that one pretty solid. Nice little shape to that. Yeah, and that's really big. That's 313. So again, club head speed there was 115, better ball speed there. Again, strike was a little bit better there, but and that right sort of shape and controlled spin, and that's where that difference of distance is really sort of got to come from. Good. Very solid. I really like that. Very solid sounding club. Flight looks really sort of strong. Gas 304. The spin number's controlled, even though that weight is in that back section. I know when I switched that into the forward section, which I saw in my review when I did a little test of changing the weights, the performance upped even more. Spin came down, and I gained even more sort of yards on the particular shot. So, but let's go look at those numbers in a little bit more detail between the F8 and the new F9 SpeedBack. Okay, so looking at numbers here. So club head speed is one we're going to look at first, because obviously, you know, the aerodynamics is a big talking point of the SpeedBack driver, and we can definitely see that a gain of 0.7 mile an hour over the F8 as an average. So it's not a huge gain, but it is a little bit of a gain. Now the ball speed did jump a bit better there. Again, the strikes can play a part, that we do know that, but again, look at it as an average, a good couple of mile an hour jump on ball speed, which is going to make a difference to that slight increased club head speed with that ball speed. We know it's going to make a bit of a difference to that spin number at the end. But the other big difference really sort of changed was the spin number. You see, the spin is very different there, so a good 600 revs difference as an average on that spin number there, which we know is going to make a big difference to the peak, the height, the way that ball comes into land. So you can see 35 against 31 peak height, 41 degrees against 37 as it comes into land. So we gained a carry there of 12 yards, but also a good run out of nearly sort of 20 yards there. So big difference of change and numbers. Not so much maybe club head speed, but ball speed, yes, and spin number, definitely. Okay, guys, so there we go. There's F8, which is the 2018 model, against the F9, which is 2019 model, and some differences of technology introduced from Cobra with that SpeedBack, aerodynamics, lighter crown. We've still got the CNC mill face that we saw on the F8, but maybe some change of the weights also. But for me, a much improved driver. Not just through that distance number, but maybe the feel, the looks I think is really stunning, but the feel as it comes off the club face. And I would say that forgiveness as well. I think that low CG, maybe that slightly heavier weight in that back section. No, it's not perfect for me. I get me better numbers when that weight goes into that front section. But to keep this test as equal as I can, I left it in that back section, but it does provide it a more forgiving option. And maybe that one we showed you there with that strike sort of proved that really, you know, even though it was a worse strike than F8, it controlled spin and got that ball out there that little bit further with some decent accuracy also. So big thumbs up for me with the Cobra. Definitely, if you've got F8, worth looking at this to, you know, definitely go and test it and get fitted. Again, there's a lot more options now with those 3 different head loft options, and then the adjustability of the neck sleeve. So there's loads more dialing in to do than F8 model. If you've enjoyed the video, thanks for watching. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts between those two drivers. Have you got F8? Have you got F9? Is this something that you're sort of looking to sort of upgrade to? I'd love to know your thoughts. Obviously, do comment down below. I'll get back to as many comments as I possibly can. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do so. Hit the bell icon to get notifications any future videos. Also follow my social media platforms, both Twitter and Instagram @MNGolfCoach. And hopefully we'll catch up you all very soon.